Now, welcome to another Let's Talk Some Andor, or this time it is episodes 7, 8, and 9 of Andor Season 2 that we will be discussing, probably in two parts again, I'm assuming.
Pretty much entirely episodes 7 and 8, the Gorman Massacre arc, because I like to divide it up into mini sections for some reason. I just do.
Yeah, makes it easier.
Yes, so today we're talking about the gore, and tomorrow will be Mon Mothma's big moment.
Mon Mothma's big day. Exciting day.
Exactly.
I mean, for her, especially considering like her life is like literally on the line and stuff, but anyway.
I mean, honestly, there's so much to talk about. I found it really interesting that Luthen kind of broke all of his assets. Will kind of still works for him, but Cassian, Bix, Vel, they all went to Yavin and seem to have, like, washed their hands of him.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to help him, but at the same time, they know what he's doing gets results.
He's still required and needed and getting results, we have to assume, yeah.
I kind of like this version of Yavin, seeing Yavin before the storm, so to speak, that they're setting up, that they're preparing, they're training, they're getting ships in order, they're getting supplies going, because they aren't announced to the galaxy quite yet. They're not the rebel army yet.
Rebel Alliance, yeah.
Yeah.
What's kind of interesting about this is you're seeing it like 2 years before A New Hope, and you're like, look at all that time they're spending here building this place up and doing all that, and then they got to leave on the fly after they blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks for them.
Next interesting thing is we see a Force healer, which is really interesting. I like kind of how they played with this aspect, where Cassian's like, this is a con, right? My Marva saw one of these ones, that they're sometimes looked at as a con, sometimes maybe they're real. And does Bix have a little bit of Force sensitivity? Because she said that she felt something from Cassian, and Force healers are like, thank you for letting me feel something. Like, maybe she's sensitive to the Force in a way, or she can sense destiny.
We all are a little sensitive to the Force, or they all are in the Star Wars galaxy. I think it's just a degree. It's kind of a spectrum of how much you can or can't feel. Or you can look at Sabine and be like, I guess you could train in the ways of the Force, and even if you're not gifted, as Hu Yang likes to point out, you can still learn a thing or two.
Well, it reminds me also of Rogue One.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm one with the Force is with me. Kind of showing that it is a part of life.
Yeah,
it's
Chirrut,
there.
Yeah, Chirrut was kind of Force sensitive, but not like Jedi level Force sensitivity.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, the healer, calling him a messenger, feeling that he has a destiny, but at the same time, being part of the Rebel Alliance and everything, he's fighting for free will. They're fighting so they can make their own choices, and now he's being told he has a destiny.
I mean, ultimately, Bix makes the choice for him, which I kind of love all that because it is very Jedi-esque. Now, obviously, they're not Jedi. I'm not saying that, but it is about that choice to have to give things up for a greater good or for a cause. And in this case, Bix kind of says, you got to embrace this destiny. You're meant for bigger and better things.
The show is about sacrifice.
Yeah, and if I stay, I'm going to keep you from that. And that's my sacrifice, is letting you go to do what you need to do. And we'll see each other again someday. It's going to be fine.
I kind of like that Syril woke up during this episode.
I think it's been happening progressively, but yeah, I think this was like the moment like he became fully aware.
Well, he had the wool over his eyes. It's kind of funny. He was seeing the things he wanted to see. He was seeing, I'm serving a purpose, I'm doing what's right, I'm being there for the Empire, I have a girlfriend who believes in me. His girlfriend's no better than his mother, manipulating him to doing the things that she wants done.
His girlfriend is worse because she's convincing him to partake in genocide. So that's worse than Edie being like mean to him and not being a very loving and supportive mother.
But it's crazy because I feel like she couldn't have done it without Syril.
No,
like,
Syril was the linchpin. Like, Syril is very important to this whole thing.
Right, but more so because I think she needed him emotionally to be on her side.
Oh, you're saying for her personally. Okay.
Because I feel like that's how come she had such a breakdown when he left. She looks at him as like a comfort item, like no, in a way. It's a possession. It's her safety blanket. And him leaving shook her too badly. I mean, you could see it. She was literally breaking down in the Vader Force choke scene.
Yeah, that obviously.
Wasn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he woke up. He felt like he belonged, being ignorant to what was really happening. It was crazy. Then we have Cass. I loved Cassian meeting that guy from the hotel who remembered him.
Yes, and the guy was subtly trying to like, hey, I remember you, but I'm on your side. We're cool,
I'm on your side. I get what you're probably doing here.
Yeah. On my rewatch, I actually noticed hotel guy is in the Resistance. He's down there in the base talking to the rest of them. I hadn't noticed that the first time, but when you watch the episodes many, many times, you see things. Yes.
Well, I love that he said the line. He said, rebellions are built on hope.
Yes.
Which is a line we hear, we first heard in Rogue One, when Cassian said it to Jyn.
Yes, and then she says it later on again.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting how that line, almost like Nemec's manifesto, just gets carried through.
Yeah.
Then we saw those green troops arrive.
Oh, I remember when we both kind of like had...
We had a Dedra moment where we looked at him and like, what the hell?
Well, yeah, because we didn't... At first, it didn't click, and then we both kind of figured it out at the same time, because I remember we both looked at each other like, oh my god, they're bringing these kids in on purpose.
They know they're going to get spooked. They're not seasoned. They're not fully trained.
They're going to get spooked, and then when the media reports on the tragedy and how sad it is for the Empire, it's like, look at 18-year-old such and such private whatever is killed, and it's like these kids were killed by these terrorists, and it makes it even
really
worse.
The first shot came from the Empire itself.
Yep. Which I kind of thought was going to happen, yeah.
Snipers on the roof, they kill one of their own,
and then
they get freaked out, they start shooting. That was dirty, though. That was dirty. Mowing down, and the thing about it this way, too, mowing the gore down in the same spot that they were being killed, massacred before, 13 years prior. There's the Tarkin massacre, and then in the same exact spot is the beginning of the Gorman massacre.
It's like poetry.
No, it shouldn't rhyme. It was visceral and horrible, and the Empire really is the embodiment of evil, honestly. They're singing the national anthem that Nicholas Britell wrote for them, this beautiful song. They're singing, and they're peacefully kind of protesting. They settle down from just screaming, "We're the Gore!"
The galaxy is watching.
Yeah, the galaxy is watching, to singing their national anthem. And they just get mowed down in the same spot that they peacefully protested in years prior. And it just hurts.
It's very visceral. It's very real. It's very like you're in there and you're kind of like, oh, what's happening? And you're kind of just going along for the ride and seeing who's going to live and who's going to die. And
then Syril violently confronting Dedra. How long did you know?
Yeah.
And you can tell she honestly cared, but she's no better than Luthen. She's using him, keeping him in the dark to do her own bidding.
I don't know. It's so hard to read what exactly is going on in her head, because there's part of her... You
can tell she didn't want that to happen either.
Yeah, there's part of her that I think genuinely, as you kind of were saying, like, she loves Syril, but maybe loves that she has this thing, not that she has someone to share her life with, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's not like a give and take, true, deep romantic love. It's like, he's my comfort item. He's my comfort blanket, as you said.
She kind of uses him at times.
Yes.
She tells him what to do. She feels that power and that control, and I feel like that's a deep-rooted part of her.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, she started unraveling the moment she found out some other person's here, and, well, you're the finger, but I'm the trigger, and...
Yeah.
She didn't like that, because she didn't want to do this in the first place.
No, she still is... I mean, I think she feels a lot of apprehension about what is going on here. She's starting to realize, like, oh, this is going to get messy. This is not, when you're actually there and seeing it, it's a whole lot worse than conceptualizing a massacre.
And we hear that, like, desperate transmission where they're trying to get out and tell the galaxy what is happening, boost our frequency, send it along, and it just hits the soul hard, because that message, even pieces of it that did probably get out, seeing as Mon and people like Bale have information about this, nobody cared.
No.
Nobody listened.
No, because it's already been...
Mm-hmm. Remind me of Narkina. Nobody cares.
No, exactly. But I mean, it goes back to that first episode about the propaganda machine, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody has already been programmed like, oh, Gore bad. So,
Gore is bad. We don't care. They're getting what they deserve.
Exactly.
And then we have Cassian and Syril's fight. Syril saves her inadvertently for like the last time.
Again, yes.
Ugh. And then they fight, and the whole time watching, I'm like, Syril's not going to win this fight.
No.
Yeah, he was a little corpo security guy, but Cassian's been doing this for longer, I think.
Yes. Plus, we know Cassian can't exactly die here.
No.
But Syril certainly can.
But it was so strange, because who are you? That one phrase just breaks Syril.
Yes.
I mean, Cassian is like the catalyst for his past
it's everything.
4 or 5 years.
Here, yeah.
For everything that has happened to him. Cassian doesn't know him, and he feels like, you should know me. I'm getting my revenge. I'm getting what I need. And then he is shot by the people he betrayed.
Kind of fittingly. It's so like shot. You kind of don't know how to process it, because you understand Syril is a part of this tragedy.
Yeah.
He helped commit this atrocity, and at the same time you're like, he didn't know.
I don't remember his name, but he even confronted him in the street and said, this is a trap.
Yeah,
look what you've done to us. This is a trap. And then he gets some sort of closure before his probable death.
Yeah, we don't know who all lives and dies.
Oh, and then the violence of those KX droids.
Oh my goodness.
That was, wow, cold, visceral, hard-hitting. Oh my, I was flinching and watching. I couldn't even watch. Just they pick you up and they throw you, and there's no emotion. It's a droid. They don't care.
Yeah.
We saw them in season 1 that they just literally take commands. Hang.
Yeah.
I will hang you.
Yeah.
So hearing them probably give the order to kill all the Gormans, kill everyone who's not an Imperial, they just go out there and heartlessly just. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, Enza's death was brutal. The woman who's kind of the daughter of Garo, and like the KX droid kind of like I watched it. It looks like she kind of gets her back broken before she even gets tossed because the KX droid grabs her so violently that she kind of jolts and then he chucks her.
There's even I think there's a couple scenes where you can see Cassian moving around, or maybe with Cassian and Syril during the fight, there's a KX droid outside and you see him just whipping people around. I'm like,
they're always in the background. You just see people flying around in the background. It's like, oh jeez, this is horrible.
But and then they start running. And I'm like, the terror they just invoke as soon as he's like, look at you, and he's running. I'm like, oh my god, they were scary enough walking.
I know. It's like, hey, this is supposed to be a horror movie.
They didn't even give them guns.
No, you don't need guns.
Remember, K2 always wanted a gun.
Yeah, that's right.
But they didn't even give them guns. They don't need them.
Yeah, but when they started running, because it's like horror movie-esque, right? The walk, but now like, no, these are like the zombies when they run. You're like, no, you're not supposed to do that.
It's just so crazy because I feel like we're not trained to be afraid of them. You know, there's the droids where we're not really afraid of them until I see this. All the bullets, all the blaster fire just bouncing and doing nothing. And you have to remember, these are solid metal beings.
Yeah. They're heavy. It's just brutal. It's brutal to watch.
You know, I think the Empire also upped their own casualty count on purpose. They had the stormtroopers just stationed standing on the steps.
On the steps, yeah.
Yeah.
While that's not very good tactical.
Were popping out from behind
pillars. They sent crowd control.
They had green troops on purpose.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They wanted the numbers to be high, and they're probably lying about just how many died, too.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Edie Karn.
Oh, that was such a sad moment.
Watching what unfolds on TV with the Gorman, it broke me. I mean, she still had the spider that he got for her.
Yeah, Syril.
Treasuring it on her shelf. Because no matter what, she did love him. She loved him. That's her son. And how it like hits the audience knowing that she doesn't even know yet that he's gone. Or maybe that she felt something that she knew something happened to her son. Knowing that he's going to be listed as a brave Imperial casualty killed by the horrible Gorman insurrectionists. Yep. That makes everything so much harder because you know he's going to be listed as a brave Imperial.
Oh, yeah. They all are, right?
When he wanted nothing to do with that at the end.
No, I think he would have turned. I think if he doesn't see Cassian, I think he ends up getting out of there. And I don't know about going to the rebellion, but certainly he is not pro-Empire anymore.
But no, I cried. This episode was it was a masterpiece.
Yeah, I just applauded when it was over, even though it's just me and you. I just felt I needed to recognize
how
a masterclass. Yeah, it was perfect. All right, well, I think that is going to be all we got for you this time.
Sad because I could talk about it forever.
Well, I know.
Well, on Thursday.
Oh yeah, you're doing your voice chat plug or our patron plug. Yeah.
I love the more people who are in there to discuss, the better the conversation gets because everyone picks out moments that resonated with them that maybe you didn't really think about, and then now you're having a whole new dialogue about a different part of the episode, and I just find it fantastic.
No, absolutely, yeah. All right, well, anyway, that's all we got for you this time. Take to the comments below or join us in the Discord and continue the conversation. You have to become a patron to do that. But anyway, thanks for watching.